Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. It's Cubicle Gaming, and as you probably saw by the title, this is a video on different redstone uses, I guess. The different types of things you can use redstone, or the different things you use in redstone and how you use them. Now, before I started recording, I prepared these 3 big boxes. And using commands, the helpful fill commands, I filled them all over with bedrock so that you don't kind of get like sneak peek, but as to what we're going to be doing next in the video. First of all, it's this first box, and it's kind of like the basics, right? So when I hit this lever, it'll activate this command block right here, which basically fills in a certain area with air. And once I do that, kabam, it's all gone, and then it reveals. Alright, now the first thing, it's the most basic thing, it's called redstone dust. And if we get all this stuff out of our inventory, this is basically all the stuff I'll be covering in this video. And if we, first of all, get these top things kind of in our inventory. Alright, see that redstone dust can be used in a way. It can be powered by, let's say, something like this, a redstone power source, which we'll get to later, or it can just connect off in different directions to take a redstone signal in different places. Now, the farther the redstone dust goes, the shorter redstone power that it has, which basically means eventually it'll run out. So it's kind of just like the base of it. A redstone repeater is something that can power. It resets. So if this guy right here has low, it's very low, and it goes through a repeater, it will come out with the maximum power. Alright? Something else with the redstone repeater is you can delay. So if you put in a pulse through here and you power it, you can see there is a short delay before it came out here. And then you can stack these repeaters through one another to get a much longer delay as well. So they're really cool. Also, if they head into a block, they can power through the block, unlike redstone dust, and still hit that redstone dust over there. So these guys are really cool. Oops. Next thing is redstone comparator, and just like the redstone torch, comparator. Oh gosh. Just like the redstone repeater, it can power blocks and come out the other side. Just like that. Now you saw there's also delay. You can't really stop that. And there's actually a huge amount of things. There's this mode, there's subtract mode. There's a ton of things you can do with the comparator, and a lot of people get confused with it. So this is something that I will be producing a video on in the future. Yeah, but comparators are actually pretty confusing, so I'll get to them later. Redstone torches are something that can power two sides. It is a power source. Also, it can power above, like it can power the redstone if there's a block there, which is also really cool. And then finally, if there is something either like a redstone repeater or just redstone that heads into it, into a block, and the redstone torch is on top, the redstone torch will turn off. Same with the redstone repeater. And you can make like torch towers with this. That'll turn off. This one stays on because it's not getting powered. But the one above will turn off because, yeah. And then once you power the one on the bottom, it all flickers up because it changes. It's really cool. You do a lot of stuff with them. You can also place them on the side, and it still gets effect on the bottom and the side as well. Alright, next thing are pistons. Pistons are really cool because they can move blocks. Alright, so this piston over here is called the regular piston. And basically, you power it, and it pushes a block upwards. And when you unpower it, it comes back down. And you can do that up to a 12 block limit. once there's 12 blocks in front of it, it will not push because it's too much for it. You can do that to the side, going down, in really any direction you want. Just can't go past 12. Now this guy, however, is different. If you power him, he does the same thing. He pushes it up. But when you unpower him, he brings the block down. And that's why he's called a sticky piston. Alright, so, now, due to the way that piston action works in this, in computer version, you're able to spit it out with a one-tick pulse. Unfortunately, pistons move slowly in this version, so you're not able to do that. But on computer, you would. So basically, they're the same thing as pistons, except they bring the block back to them. Alright? Here is a redstone block, and this is basically just a constant power source inside a block. It can power in all directions. It powers above, as well as powering below, actually. But it cannot power through blocks. All right, that's the only thing. But really, it can be moved. It's a movable one of the few movable redstone components. Like if you move redstone, like I'll show you this. If you move this, see, it just comes off. All right, so it's one of the few things that can actually be moved. Next one is the observer. This guy basically detects block updates. As in, all right, this is its output, and the input is right here. It's basically a face. And whenever something on this one block right here changes, it will do a one-tick pulse as an output. So if you put a block here, you can see that lit up. If you destroy the block, it lit up. If you do that, obviously, if you place that there, it powers. If you power redstone, it'll change. If you unpower redstone, it'll change. If you put a repeater there and change the ticks, it'll also change, as well as a comparator with its subtraction mode and not, which I will again get on another subject. Now, so it's really cool. It can detect updates and can be really useful in certain situations, especially with the fact that it can be moved by pistons without being disrupted. Also, when it moves, it also emits a pulse, just like that, because the block behind it is changing. All right. Finally, the last one in this row is basically the redstone powers, as you can see on that sign there. It's the best thing I could come up with to describe it, and basically these are the pressure plates that power. Wood is slower than stone, has a longer delay, and gold and iron have are kind of different. I'm not really sure how to use them, but you know. The buttons are the same as the stone and wooden pressure plates. They're buttons that turn on and off. Wooden takes longer to turn off. And then finally, you have the lever here, which is when you click it, it turns on. You have to click it again to turn off. All right, so that is the first row. It included basically the basics of redstone. Alrighty, guys, so the next row here that I've made, there's only a few, but they're kind of like the odd ones that you don't really see in many redstone contraptions. And if we hit this lever, we will uncover them. Kabam! There are 4 of them, and that includes slime block, daylight sensor, item frame, tripwire hook. Now, I am guessing these 2 you have heard of. Slime block sometime is considered with redstone. I think it can be because it can be used with it. And then finally, item frame, which is a little secret that most people don't know. All right, let's start with the slime block. This guy is basically having to do with just pistons and everything. All right, so if we let's grab a sticky piston actually. And we put that guy there. Let's grab ourselves a power source. All right, and we power this. Acts like a regular block. All right, he comes back. Now, the cool thing about slime blocks, if you attach a block to it, it will pull that block with it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Cut. Now the cool thing about slime blocks is if you attach a block to it and then you power the piston, it will take that block with the slime block. And same with retraction. So you can do some pretty cool things. You can attach it to literally all sides of this slime block. It'll take all of them. And it's really cool. Now, you can also attach other slime blocks to slime blocks, which is also incredible. There you go. And now you're moving all those blocks together. Now, you might think that's overpowered. There is a slime block limit. So, there's only a certain amount of things that you can take. Now, let's say, I attach all of these. Yeah, it won't do it. It's kind of like the push limit. There's only a certain amount that you can attach to it before it just gives out, and it won't allow you to push it anymore. So you take a few off right here. Say, there you go. It's like, what? 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so, yeah. So it's basically the same push limit. And I added a 13th block. It doesn't do it, but as soon as I remove that 13th, it can push it. So it's basically a really overpowered type piston. Alright. Next thing here is a daylight sensor. Now, currently it is always day. That's a setting that I have this world on. But if you were to have it on different times of day, this would emit different types of redstone pulse throughout it. So, for example, right now, it is completely midway through the day, so it has an extremely strong pulse. You can also change this for night. So, if we hit this button right here, it will now change to a version where when it is at nighttime, it will have its strongest. Or midway through nighttime, it will have its strongest. When it's the sun is right on the horizon, it'll have 1 or 2, and it'll gradually grow. But yeah, let's kind of change the day. Let's see if we can. Whoops. Time. Yep. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's see if we can change the time using commands. Set. Nope. Time. Yeah, time set sunrise. Let's do sunrise. Alright. It's now sunrise. Alright. And you can see that this is on day mode. And just so the sun is barely out at the horizon, so this daylight sensor has only 2 signal strength, right? Right here, right here. It only has 2 signal strength, so it's only going out 2 blocks. All right, and if we change that, and if we go hit this, and it's still very strong right now, because it's still nighttime. All right, so it's a really cool thing, just sometimes not always right. Now I'm going to change this back to midday because you can see better. Yeah. Time set day. Right? That should. There we go. That's good enough. Now we still got a strong one there. Alright. Next thing, comparators. These guys, item frames. Most people would say no. That they don't really belong. You know what I say? Yes, they do, because they are associated with redstone. Because if you take a comparator and place him right here, here, nothing happens. But if you put an item inside this item frame, I need redstone. There, look at that. Now I'm going to destroy this really quick because this sign just says item frame, and I don't think we need that. Now, let's get some redstone that I just put away and take this guy out. Now, as you can see, it's only at 2, but as we hit this guy and we change its position, that redstone strength grows. Right? You can see it's all the way out to here now, and it's got a pretty decently strong redstone. But once I get it back to the original position, it goes all the way back to 1. So these guys really can be used for like secret passageways if you want to, like, all these, like, say you want like secret passageway where you had they had to all be like this or something. You could make different secret passcodes, and they're just like really cool because most people don't think they can really be a password, but they can. Alright, and the last one is tripwire hook. Now tripwire hooks are basically tripwire hooks, and they work as tripwire hooks. You step over them and you emit a pulse. Now this doesn't work. You have to attach it to the tripwire hook itself, as you can see over here. Now that's a short delay after I step off, and basically, yeah, you just walk over it. I'm gonna stop flying, and let's just say I'm a random person. I'm walking across. Bam! I walked over it. It emits a pulse, and that can be like that can be used for like traps and stuff. If it's like kind of hidden, then they get like trapped, or I don't know. But yeah, they can also be used for some pretty cool stuff. Alrighty guys, so finally what we have here is basically redstone things that aren't necessarily redstone, but they can get affected by it. Those are dispenser, dropper, hopper, redstone lamp, note block, and command block. Now, I might be missing some, and out of all this, there's probably a lot of things that I'm missing, but these are the things that I kind of just came up with. Now let's hit this to reveal. Voila! Alrighty. And first one here is dispenser. Now, dispensers, they are an inventory type thing. I forgot its name, but its name is dispenser. Alrighty. And it can hold items. Let's say I want to put like 34 dispensers in this dispenser. Alrighty. Now, what we can do is we can take a power source, we can power it, and it spits out its item. Just like that. Alright? And as many times as you power it, it can do that. Alrighty? You can make some pretty cool contraptions with that. Dropper is the same way. If you put some items in it, it will spit them out. Just like that. Now, these guys can be used as chains. They can spit them into other droppers, just like this. And now it is in here, which is pretty cool. If you do that with the dispenser, it just spits it out. It doesn't chain. So that's the difference. These guys kind of just spit it out for like you to pick up, and these guys chain. However, the difference is that dispensers, they can do special stuff with item. For example, if you got an item such as a fire charge, which is right here. If you put this guy in our dispenser right here and you powered it, it will not shoot the item, but the actual fire charge itself. So it won't just spit it out like a dropper would. This will fire it. And you could, like, for example, hit this horse right here and create different traps. Now it works for many different things, like fireworks, works for splash potions. It'll even do it'll shoot arrows as well. Alright? And this stuff is all randomized as well. what if there's multiple stuff in it, it'll be randomized, which it does. It's a completely random order. Yeah. So these guys are really cool. They can create a bunch of cool contraptions. Hoppers pick up items. So if I were to chuck these into this hopper on the top, it would go into the hopper, and now the hopper has them. Alright, now, they're really cool. They can also make chains. You can place them on the side of blocks, just like this. If you click on, you have to crouch and do that. And now, if I were to put one into this, which is now pointing into the hopper, it will now send all of these items into this hopper because it is an inventory. I could do that with really anything. If I took a dropper and I put a hopper facing into it and put some items in it, it will now put all those items into this dropper. Alright, so it's really cool. Yeah. I like them. They can be used for a lot of things and can be really helpful in a lot of circumstances. Alright, now next we got the redstone lamp. Basically, it's just a lamp that is controlled by redstone. You can kind of just make like a light switch and stuff if you wanted. Kind of just decorative. Same with the note block here. Every time you do it, it makes a sound, which I know you guys can't hear, but yeah. And then you can also tune this note block to whatever musicality that you would like it. And then when you power it, it'll make that same noise. So you can make like different tunes, which is really cool. Finally, you have the almighty command block. Now, command blocks are considered cheating by me, but this is creative, so I'm allowed to use them by my rules. You can't even find this in the inventory of creative. If I search the command block in the inventory, look, nothing comes up. So in order to get these guys, you literally have to use commands into /give yourself. Give self command _ block. Now there's different types. You can do the repeating, you can do chain, command block, and command block minecart. But after you do this, you just hit enter, and it has blessed you with a command block. Alright, let's see, hold on. If you get a minecart and put it right here, no, it doesn't work. But I was only testing that because if you go into here, you can actually switch this into chaining, just like that, or the repeating. So you don't have to give yourself a specific type. The only one you'd have to give yourself is the minecart command block, because you can't craft that. Alright. But anyway, yeah, I hope you like this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, post in the comments if you have any questions about them. Some of them, just like the comparator, I'll be making extra videos in the future because they're kind of confusing. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like. I'm Cubicle Gaming. Peace out.